How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer episode review and recap. Again, we are in the Entertainment District arc. This is technically episode 9 of season 2, but it's episode 2 of the Entertainment arc. So, before we jump right on into this, I would like to ask you all to please give me a like, write a little comment at the bottom right there. Tell me if you're enjoying, almost said Mushiko Tensei, how you're enjoying Demon Slayer. And of course, hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button really helps us out. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers at least by January 31st. So, if you aren't new here, hit the notification bell, be notified of more videos like this. So, let's get on into one of my favorite anime. One of the ones that is funny. People talk about big threes all the time when it comes to anime. And one day I'll make a video on what truly is the big three. The big three is something that cannot be bestowed upon people. It's kind of like the Sanin from Naruto. You can't just call yourself a Sanin. It has to be bestowed upon you. But this is one of the best shonen animes for a long, long time. And even though the manga's already done, which I commend the guy. I hear the story's still solid. I commend the creator for being able to finish it. It's a pretty dang solid anime. And this is a pretty darn solid episode. So last time we saw this guy over here, Uzui Tengen. He was trying to take two ladies with him because he needs them for the entertainment district mission. But now we got Tanjiro and the boys. I'm always gonna bring this thing out, guys. I'm always gonna bring this out. Yeah, Tanjiro and the boys. They're gonna take the place, and this is actually we pick up right where we left off, and this is ridiculously funny. Um, Zenitsu's trying to explain to the other two what the entertainment district is because he has an idea, and Uzio says that he wants to remind them, "I am God, you are trash," and they all literally crumble. All this is just pure comedy, which can only mean that things will get very dark. They typically do in shows that have good comedy. But he's telling them, "You're trash. I'm God." So first thing, you need to pound it to your heads. If I tell you to be dogs, you be dogs, and we have them going woof woof. If I tell you to be monkeys, you be monkeys, and we got little cute little monkey versions of the boys. If I tell you to where we at here to pander to my every will, and they got them looking like rats, doing like little snively things, you do what I tell you to do. And the funniest thing, I love Tanjiro so much because he raised his hand, then asked the question, "What kind of god are you?" Because off the bat, dude says he's a god. His Zenitsu calls him crazy. And when Tanjiro asked him that, he said, "That's a dumb question." Dude says, "Great question. You have potential. I am, of course, a god of flashiness and the god of festivals." And Zenitsu, in his mind, is like, "No, you're the god of stupidity." And Inosuke, without missing a beat, goes, "I'm king of the mountains. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, god of festivals." And just the face that Tengen makes saying doesn't make any sense. You're creepy. And so this who's losing his shit because he says both of you are creepy and this is so cringeworthy. And while Inosuke's trying to, fight him, you got Tanjiro holding him back. Of course, he calls him, he calls him Funchiro. Zenitsu basically, pegs Tengen for being the type of person that he does not get along with people who's on that same dimension as him. So very eccentric folk like Inosuke. Calls him Compachiro, which is funny. But now's no time to fool around. He says it's time for us to go. Dude vanishes in a puff of smoke, and he's already halfway down the damn road. He looks like a little speck. And now they gotta run to catch up. So we get the intro with the three wives. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about these three wives real quick. So if you've read the manga, which I have not, I don't know if I'm ever gonna read it because I'm pretty much enjoying the anime. And I'm very patient when it comes to these things. So if you heard the news, the three women, beautiful women that are around him in the intro, those are his wives. And apparently, people, I don't know if they're Japanese people, I think they are, but people are upset that he has three wives and it's something disrespectful, blah, 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 blah. Guys, this is a different, first of all, this is fiction. Those women aren't real. Secondly, this is a different time period. Thirdly, there are still places in the world that practice polygamy. Just because it's mostly societal norm with more advanced societies doesn't mean that it's not a thing that still doesn't happen. As a matter of fact, in advanced societies in the United States, there's still people who practice this thing. There's a there's a show called Sister Wives for a reason. Look it up. But I digress. I'm done making fun of people that make a big deal out of anime when you just don't have to watch it. Anyway, so no, just the girls. And the girls, the girls that they rescue, Aoi, Nanaho, the little ones. They all tell the guys to be careful, the little cutie pies that they are. And we go right into our next episode. So while they're on the back of this cart in this entertainment district, Uzui is basically telling them, don't get out of here, don't get out of the car, don't stand out. You need to just case this place. And it's very lively. There's tons of people around. There geishas looking down at them, and instantly, in those cases, they need to get out, which causes Tanjiro to get out because he needs to get these fools. And Tengen is losing this freaking mind. He just told him don't get out. Um, and Zenitsu says it really looks like daytime because it's an entertainment district. There's lights everywhere. There's hundreds and hundreds of people around. And uh, Tengen gets a good line saying, a Washington vanity and desires of men and women. It's a town of night swirling with love and hate. It's very flashy, which fits him. Flashy mission, flashy place for a flashy guy. And Inosuke is mad that it's teaming with people. I don't know if he just doesn't have any home training. I don't get why he felt the need to literally sonic run because his feet were spinning in a circle into the people. Okay, but for whatever reason, they have to go get him. And Zenitsu, after Tengenari grabs Inosuke, they gotta find Zenitsu who's wandering around, and there's the geisha saying, "Yellow hair boy, come on up, we'll give you some candy." And he's trying to hide his face because he's blushing with all the beautiful women. And Tengen hits him on top of the head, says, "You are too young for all of this." And they pull, they get to where they need to go because remember, a place of rest for anyone part of the Demon Slayer Corps is anyone that has the Westera logo. Westera is just not isn't just the name of the company that backs them, which is owned by the young master. Westera is also a thing that wards off demons. So anytime you see that, you know it is a safe haven. So while they're in there, um, pardon me, while they're in there, Tengen is basically giving them the lowdown of the place, right? He's telling them that it's a perfect place for a demon because it's quiet and sleepy during the day, but is lively at night. He tells them that women there become prostitutes, mostly sold due to poverty and debt. And in return, they're given food, clothing, lodging. They do a very good job of showing the different geishas. Some of them smoking with those very decorative long pipes, but I believe we do get a look at who our main villain might be, especially from the intro. She has lots of nice pins hanging from her hair, but she's smoking as well. And as he's explaining all this, he's saying, the women try to climb through the ranks, and eventually, maybe they found a rich man that is willing to buy out their contracts. There are even ranks among these women, as he had to explain to them, and the highest is the Orion. Them being beautiful, the Orion being beautiful is a given, but at the same time, they're also intelligent. They are mastered every traditional art, and she is the breadwinner of the house, which lavished so much time and money into her. So, a woman of distinction. So, here's the issue. Where we are. They come to a place where I already said all that. As they come to this place, because I did the intro, he did the explanation before they got there, but I sped it up for you guys. In those cases, heavily eating the buns, Tanjiro's sipping tea, and Zenitsu was, flipping mad, is flipping yelling at the guy who's technically their superior, which I find funny because Tengen tells them, "You guys are going to infiltrate the houses, and you need to find me my wife." He takes this as them looking for him a wife. He's like, I get that you're weird with your ugly face and you're an oddball and all that, but you're abusing your power getting us to do this. And he has to tell him, "You idiot! My wives are already in this place. I need you to get them out." And he's like, "Wait, wives?" He's like, "Yeah, I have 3 wives. I've been getting letters. I was getting letters from them casing the place." Because while he tried to go in as a customer, really wasn't getting much answers or getting much headway. So he sent in his 3 wives, who are all 3 Kunoichi, that's female ninjas, all very beautiful. We get to see more detailed silhouettes. They're not really silhouettes. We see deep. We don't get to see their faces much, but you can tell they're all actually pretty, very pretty. You pay attention to the intro. They're all very busty as well. And it's funny that Zenitsu gets deep moments. That voice actor has some good range because he gets deep voice, and he does his breathing technique. There's lightning that's coming out of him, and he's like, "How the hell do you have 3 wives?" And my man's Tengen comes in right in the gut and says, "Do you have a problem with that?" He's out for the rest of this conversation. So Tanjiro, who's reading the letters, and that's how it came about that he has 3 wives, because there's tons and tons of these letters. Tanjiro saying that the letters say don't stand down. He's like, "Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you guys." Um, you know, as much as he hated and is not flashy, we have to disguise ourselves, much how his wives had to do. And he's able to narrow down the 3 likeliest houses that they're in. Um, Suma should be in the Tokito house. Nakio should be in the Ogimoto house, and Hanatsuru should be in the Goku house. I think her name's actually Suma. I don't know where my Z came from in here. And Inosuke, ever the asshole, says, "You ever just consider the possibility that they're all dead?" Dude comes in and wham, and Inosuke's knocked out for the rest of the evening. The helper brings the items that apparently he asked for, and we do a very quick transition. He has dressed these guys up in makeup to look like young uh, future geisha girls, which I find this very hilarious. Of course, all of them have on this over too much makeup with the red circles. Tanjiro has little bows, and Zenitsu has 2 bows. Inosuke has no bows, and just the lipstick. It genuinely made me laugh. And a woman of the house that he's trying to push them up on. She's like, "They're way too ugly," and the guy that's with the ladies, like, "Yeah, there's not really much we can do." But because Tengen, without his makeup and all the baubles on, dude is a stud. He is a stud muffin. He has got his chest all showing up. Dude's pretty damn jacked too, because rippling muscles, but he has gold bands around. Dude's too damn big to be a ninja. Anyway, the lady of the house is blushing, saying, "You know what? She's gonna take a person because she's smitten by dude, right? He's hot. We'll take the middle one because she's polite and obedient." Tanjiro for the win again. So, um, he's like, he can't even barely give away the other 2. And Zenitsu lets out another breath with more electricity. We're through these comedic moments, we're seeing like the fruits of his training, which is kind of interesting. Um, but he's like, "Don't even talk to me." And Tengen thinks it's because he hadn't dressed up like a girl because he said he would do anything, right? No, it's actually because Tengen is hot. He's like, "God damn, how dare you be hot with all that stuff off?" Inosuke wanders off, and he's pointing to a crowd of people, and it is a procession of, what is it, courtesans. And it's very obvious that the people we see in here, the 2 very young little geisha girls, they have different looking pupils. Like the way they draw characters, the characters are drawn in this series. I like how the eyes, the pupils are not perfectly round. They have some rigidity to them. Or some people have very different looking eyes, like Zenitsu does, or Inosuke does. But it's very obvious that these characters are going to be main characters, especially if you pay attention to intros and if you pay attention to how they look. But this woman, beautiful geisha woman, is the Orion from the Tokito houses, and her name is Koinatsu. Her clog sandals are so tall and thick, like it is basically a dance with her sweeping her feet, holding on to one gentleman as they are moving. And this is just a procession, and she's going to meet her client, who is probably very high level client. And Zenitsu's flipping out, asking if she's one of his wives. And he's like, "Wait, are all your wives hot like her? Are all of them knockouts?" Punch in the nose, which I find funny because why wouldn't people question? Hey, you just punched a little girl, but it's played up for laughs, which is fine. Um, it's like, no, that's not my wife. And Inosuke, by the way, they all have different names. So we have Sumoko, that's that's Tanjiro because of his last name. We have Zunoko and we have Onoko. So Onoko or Inosuke is pretty much crouched over, saying, "Man, she's walking slow. If she was in the mountains, she wouldn't survive." And there's a woman standing over him. And when they get back to Tengen, she's saying, "I'll take him." She's from the Ogimoto house, which is very advantageous for him because now they didn't have to actually go seeking them out. And she says she has an eye for these things, and he thanks her. And he looks at Zenitsu, and Zenitsu's like, "Oh shit, I'm the only person that hasn't been employed yet." They instantly wipe away the makeup. Everyone forgets with this boar head mask off. Inosuke is a pretty boy. Like he is pretty beyond words. I remember first seeing the art for him, thinking that it was a joke, and that instantly wiping makeup off, he's already looks pretty. So she's like, "Yeah, I pretty much got her for a steal." Oops, spit my water. Gonna got him for a steal, and they're gonna train her better than the Kyogo houses, Warabime Hime, or the Tokyo houses, Koinatsu. And he's dragged off, and the girls are saying, "Man, she's pretty dang sturdy." Well, girls should be plump and meaty. He's like, "No, she feels pretty damn muscular, actually." And finally, they get to the Kyogoku house, which Zenitsu is playing what's called a shamisen. So it looks like a guitar, but it's not. It's played with a fan, three strings, and he's playing it very well because he plays it softly first. Does his breath technique, has lightning around him, and just jamming on this thing. And the girls behind him saying, "Wow, she's really dynamic. She has a good ear. She's able to play the samisen or the koto after one listen." That is a really good. The fact that he has a good hearing like that is pretty damn awesome. But they're like, "Man, is she ugly though?" Like the guy who brought her here was drop dead gorgeous out here, and the chaperone hag was so smitten with him that she just took him, right? And you know, it's so funny because the one lady who's smoking, she's saying, "No, I can tell she's gonna be great. She's gonna rise to the top. It's the grittiness to get back at the man who abandoned her." And I can sense it. And I'm like, "You're not wrong," because he's thinking back to when he was pounding on his head, going, "Oh, I was just gonna just give her away. Honestly, she can do anything. She can clean toilets. It doesn't matter." And he's thinking like, "I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna be the number one person in this house," which is just funny. And I'm thinking to myself, are they never gonna check their private parts? Like they just trust the girls to dress themselves? There's never like a unwrap then wash you kind of thing. Okay, but back at the Tokito house, Sumiko-chan, our boy Tanjiro, doing some sewing. He was asked to carry luggage, lots of gifts and baggage upstairs. easily able to pick up these things. And I'm like, man, she's pretty strong and very helpful automatically. Funny thing is, you can never clear, like, Tanjiro's hands are so worn from, doing lots of work. Pre Mitsuzan being the dickhead that killed his family, his hands were already worn, and he still has those worn hands. He already has his makeup off, but stuff. He has the two giant circles on his cheeks, and he takes everything upstairs. And the two little cutie pie geisha girls, the two little ones, they're talking. They kind of close the door, and they're hearing about how they found someone found one of the heads. Where are we at here? Oh, I skipped a part. It was fun. The funny part was that they wiped the makeup off of his face too, and they found the scar. And the lady that took him was kind of hitting him, and the guy was like, "Don't beat up on her. It's not her fault." So I guess obviously don't want scarred women. Well, anyway, there was a madam, not a madam. There was a yeah, a madam from a house apparently fell from a window and died. So the girls are saying, let's be careful. And they sound like a lot of the older girls are leaving nowadays and committing Aishinuke. And Tanjiro's already there at this door and going, "What's that?" He brings in all these gifts. There's tons of gifts for Koinatsu Oryan. And Aishinuke actually means, girls that run away without paying their debts. So it's a pretty bad thing, especially if you're caught. I think we've seen stuff like this in what's that show? The really really good show, Samurai Champloo. There's several prostitute geisha episodes, very spot on. So anyway, some of the girls are actually managed to run off if they find a man that they fall in love with. But they were saying the other day the girl named Suma Orion, and Tanjiro remembers that name. He's like, "Oh, that's one of dude's wives," you know. And apparently she had supposedly left, but the lady of the house, Koinatsu, she comes in and tells him stop spreading rumors. No one really knows if she made it out of there. And I'm thinking to myself, well, he can't press any forward because now she's come in here. She's very beautiful. Ask Tanjiro for his hands and gives him this really amazing looking candy. Like, God, why does the food in anime look really good? Like, gives him these candies. And again, Tanjiro asks if she really committed that. And she's like, well, why do you want to know? She's like, damn, she's on her guard. I'm going to have to find a way of asking. And then he lies and says she's his older sister. And the face Tanjiro makes, I love that they brought a text thing down that says, Tanjiro is so honest that when he lies, his face contorts. And his face is contorted very hilariously. To where the girls are like, yee. So he says, yeah, that's my older sister. And the story is that he was sold after she was, and they had been exchanging letters, and so he knows she wouldn't commit Aishinuke. And even Koinatsu was saying she didn't seem like the type. She seemed very grounded. But apparently they found a diary in her room that said she was going to do that. And Tanjiro thinks this Aishinuke thing is pretty convenient for a demon. People can say that the young girls committed it, why they go and kill them. It's pretty damn easy. He's pretty sure that the diary is a forgery as well. So, where am I here? And he's hoping that she's safe and he wants to save her. Tengen is sitting above all of the stuff on the rooftop and he's like, man, it's quiet today too. And I love the sound. If you pay attention, the sound effect of his like diamondish braids moving in the wind, really, Ufotable's amazing. Anyway, he says he got a really bad feeling about all this, like it's being enveloped in smoke. Like something is very adept at being invisible here. And he's wondering if it's a demon of the upper ranks, because if it's true, we're going to get a very ultra flashy battle to the death. Inosuke wants to take off his clothing so badly because it's super hot and it dulls his senses. So that is the reason why he runs around half naked, because he has feels, he has touch. He hears the name Makio, which is of course one of Tengen's wives, and hears two young ladies speak, excuse me, about how she's not coming out because she's sick and it's been a while, and the madam is probably going to go in there and get her. And Inosuke's thinking, well, her being sick would that be a reason why she would stop sending letters? He's like, I need to go and see her, and he's very astute when he wants to be because he's like, all right, the girls came from that way, so that's where her room has to be. And he tries to run, and they're like, hey, don't, Inoko, don't, don't rush, don't run. And bows, and he starts walk. Dude has like the manliest duck walk of all time. And he's thinking back to when Tengen says, above all else, don't you dare speak. Your voice is too damn deep and it's too damn gruff. The moment you speak, they're gonna know that you're a freaking dude. Because the women are noting, like, man, she's a very quiet girl. And he's like, what the hell am I supposed to do then? Meanwhile, we get the best sound effect for a spooky echo I've heard in a very long time saying, answer me. And we get those same fabrics draping all around that you see in the intro and the new outro. Makio, I think one of the more voluptuous ones of his wives, strung up, her mouth is covered. They're wondering who she was writing those letters to and saying, your name's Makio, right? And Inosuke is slowly on the way. Now here's the great thing about Inosuke being the touch guy, he would be able to touch the door and sense all in that room. That's how good he is. But this is where the episode ends. We're going into the Tai show, which of course now this with the ninja leader, they go nin nin. Zenitsu was mad because Inosuke, without makeup on, is like, damn, you really are a stunner. Inosuke wants to beat him up. We get our Taisho secret from Tanjiro saying that Inosuke's actually gotten really good at the shamisen. And apparently all the girls at the place are doting over him because of how good he is. And Zenitsu's like, he doesn't want to stay in the house alone. He's wondering if he could come with Tanjiro. And Tanjiro's like, no, man, I hear they actually really like you over there. You've gotten great at this thing. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to become number one in the house. And Tanjiro takes out a mirror to show him how ugly he still looks, and he faints. He faints by looking at his own picture, and in those cases, he's like, "Oh dang, you okay?" Um, what's the next episode? Oh, I don't think I wrote what the next episode is. Oh, the next episode is "What Are You?" That is episode 3 of the Entertainment District arc. So episode 10 of the entire season 2. Um, all in all, good episode. It's very hard for me to grade anime of a level like this, which is why I just prefer just to talk about it, tell you my feelings, and tell you what was funny about it. Really, really good. I am predicting, I am predicting that Inosuke will end up saving Makio. We gotta get Makio out of there, and eventually they're gonna have to go get Suma-san. They're gonna have to end up going to get her because it looks like she's probably captured too, or she. No, it's not like she might have been captured too. I don't think they will pull any of them getting killed so soon. And one interesting thing to note: someone paid it. Someone did some eagle eye thing and showed each of the 3 wives. They all actually look like feminine versions of our 3 guys. Like the one who's called Makio with the blondish hair, she looks like Zenitsu. The one in the middle looks like Tanjiro. And the very pretty one with the blue hair that already looks like our favorite pretty boy looks like a Inosuke. Funny if true. Amazing if true as well. But please, let me know what you think of the episode in the comment section down below. If you made it this far, and it's not that long of a video, but if you did make it this far, put down there who looks the worst in makeup. I'm gonna go for Zenitsu. As always, hit me with that like button. It will really be really much appreciated and helps out the channel a lot. Hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 200, especially if you're new here. And if you aren't new here, hit the notification bell, get notified of more videos like this. And don't forget to share that video. You share the video, other people see what a great time we're having. As always, I appreciate you guys taking time out to spend some time with me. Be good, be blessed, wash your hands, be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. Take care of yourselves out there, please. And just know you're not alone. And I will definitely see you guys next time.